How many people are coming so far?
Sorry for kicking you off, by the way. I didn't mean to do that. I ended it.
Oh.
I always forget that I'm the host sometimes. We'll see. I've gotten a lot of emails, people asking about recordings. I've gotten like 15 people. I'm like, great. I'd love that you access the recordings, but I'd love for you to be there in person. But anyway, so gotten that. I would say maybe 15 people, maybe.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be kind of nice to have that, a good amount, at least a handful of people, It's every few months. So if we're capturing 15, 20 people every few months, that, a few hundred every few years, I mean, adds up. We'll see.
And the speakers are going to join us, right?
Yeah, I called them this morning because I was like, I need confirmation. It's like the day of, and they're like, oh yeah, we're playing. We'll be there. Don't worry. Oh, there he is. There's Brian. Perfect timing. Oh, he's probably just logging on to the voice here. I know. I pestered him a few times, and now I'm worried that, pestered him, and then no one's going to show up or anything. Like, oh, well.
It is what it is.
I know. That's just what, exactly, right?
Yeah.
By the way, so I get this call today from Cal Fire, and at first they're on the phone like, oh, shit, is this our project? And then they called me out something totally different that I reached out about, and I was so bummed. I know, I had the same reaction. I was like, and I wanted to talk to him about something else. So I was like kind of happy, but I was like, oh, man, I really wanted to be about a proposal. Like, hey, you guys did such a good job.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel a little shaky on that. At least not my role, but anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, Brian, can you hear us there?
I can. I was just coming in.
Hey, well, it's nice to meet you here. My name is Andy. I'm at the Ventura County Resource Conservation District.
Hello, Andy. How are you today?
Doing good. It's a colleague of mine, Elaine. She's the ED Executive Director of Ventura Regional Fire Safe Council. So she partners.
Wonderful. Hi, Elaine. How are you?
Hi, Brian. Nice to meet you.
I feel like we've talked before.
I think we met maybe my first week that I started. I'm not sure.
I feel like we have. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
That's how the Zoom world now, though, right? Like you're like, oh, wait a minute, we're all remote. I feel like I met you. There's a bunch of names that are just floating around. I'm gonna grab some water real quick, guys. I'll be right back. In just a minute. Oh, actually, I do need to share. I wanted to share for if and when people come in here, but let's see.
The attendance has been a little dubious, Brian.
Has it?
Yeah, we tried hard, but it's just hard getting folks on Zoom these days.
It is. So we don't necessarily have a group that we're going to. It's just people who, miscellaneous people that have been invited.
So Andy's been promoting this, and so have we for a good month or so, because it's every other month. And he said he thinks there'll be about 15 folks on the call, so or on the attending the meeting. We'll see.
Okay.
That would be great if there's 15.
Yeah, I must have ran last month, maybe a month and a half ago, about a 1/4-page ad in like 3 newspapers for this. So we did get a lot of signups. I was just telling Elaine, so this is recorded, just so you know, Brian, we post them and everything. I got a lot of people that want to follow up on recordings. There's, it's always hard to kind of pinpoint when the public's available and whatnot. And just getting everyone in the same room at the same time. But we'll see, we got someone, we got Jamie here, but yeah, so hopefully we got a good turnout. We'll start probably about 5 or 10 after.
After you record it, do you keep those archived anywhere where people can go back and watch them later?
Yes, I do. So I can, and I'll send you that link too after this, more so you can have it. But yeah, it will be on our webpage that we can archive it. And then Elaine, same for you, by the way.
Yeah, I think we've been posting them.
Okay, I was gonna say either way, I can send you the files too, so you can have them yourself.
That was great, Andy. I really appreciate that.
As it moves. All right. I'm gonna give a few minutes here.
So I've got a PowerPoint and a little video in with it.
Perfect. That's great. So I mean, usually how these kind of go, it's 20 to 30 minutes of you talking, and then community questions and answers after that, and call it a night.
And it's a 12-minute video.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then I've got a PowerPoint along with it.
Perfect.
So the video really does a good job of explaining the PowerPoint. So I go through the slides pretty quick.
Okay.
And then the information from the PowerPoint, it's also available on our website, so they can always go back and get it if they
Perfect.
want to get that brochure.
When you share the video, you know how to share it with like the sound, right?
With sound,
I'm presuming there's sound in the video.
there is.
So when you go to your upper right on your screen, you see the more option, or not the
Actually,
upper right, wherever your bar is.
Can we just try it right now? Can you stop sharing and then I'll share real quick?
Yeah, let's try it right now. So share it. And now you'll see in the up, once you play it, in the upper right corner, you'll see the Zoom drop-down menu that pops up, or in the up top.
In the upper right corner of it.
Or do you, and you see
Well,
where the more?
I can hear it.
Yeah, it's not enough though. It's picking up their speaker. So
Okay.
what you can do is when you move your cursor up top, it has the drop-down menu, right, Brian? You see the more section?
More.
Hit that and share sound.
Meeting info, disable, show names. Optimize screen share.
Is there no share sound there?
There is no share sound in mine.
Let's see. Do you mind if I request control or to
We'll
view?
also give you
Is
some
that better?
survival tips in case you
Yes.
are trapped by the wildfire.
Yeah.
If you live near the wildland, you live in an ember zone.
Hit
This
this,
is
yeah.
important to know because most
I just
homes
turned my
lost during
speaker up.
wildfires are the result of ember intrusion, not
It
the active
should
flame.
have their share sound. You didn't have it anywhere in that more section at all?
Embers
course
as
not.
much as a mile
Oh, I know.
thermal current
Optimize screen share for video clip. Is that it?
All right, I'm gonna exit your screen share here. Let's see.
Plan is to get ready. This means creating defensible space and adding a
Because swear to God, I go to more, and then it goes to share sound. You had to optimize for video clip, right?
I did.
So let's go back, at least hit that, because the option should be right above that. It's in mine at least.
That's awesome.
So let's try it one last time. If not, what you have worked. But I wonder if optimize for video clip would just make it easier anyways.
wildfire. You knew it was coming and now it's here. Smoke has blotted out the sun and it stings your eyes.
Okay, that's
It's hard to breathe
optimized.
and you can't stop coughing. The air is so hot.
There was no share sound there.
There's a constant
Yeah,
roaring
okay.
all around you. Embers and ash are falling.
So maybe try to turn up the volume again. We'll go from
Yeah.
there.
When we get to it,
Wildfire
I'll just
is
turn
now
the volume
a
up.
year-round threat. As more
I just don't know why it's not.
Because it's
wildfire. You knew it
just
was
the way it
coming, and
goes.
now it's
I know.
here.
Right. When you want stuff to work, it doesn't ever work at times. Sure sound. I'll see if I can do some other things right now behind the scenes real quick. We'll see if it gets any better. We got some more people joining in. We'll start about 5 or 10 after, everyone. Thank you so much, Brian, for taking the time tonight. I really do appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad it was able to work out.
Oh yeah, yeah, worked out really well actually. We didn't have any fires. Well, going on right now, right? In the valley.
Luckily.
Thank God.
Actually, Brian, there's a sound coming like an echo.
Is that?
Yeah. Is that coming from mine or?
Hey, let me see here. How about now?
Speak, Brian.
Does that sound better?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I wonder. Let me try one more thing here, Brian.
Okay.
Since we got some time here. Sorry, everyone, for looking at this experiment here. So share that video one more time. And maybe I just have an updated version or something, but once you share that in the bottom left corner, we should see something. Bottom left corner of the share selection screen. Click on the share screen. Select share sound in the bottom left corner of the share screen window. And is there something in the bottom left corner of your window that says share something? And you move around.
Oh, that's awesome. Now I don't have any sound.
Oh no.
Did I lose you guys too?
Nope, we're here. Can you hear us? Uh-oh. You there, Brian?
I think we lost Brian
Yep.
for the sound.
He might have hit a different, oh, I think his internet just died. Yes, there is a recording of session 1. I will send that posting right now. It's available on our webpage, Ventura County Resource Conservation District. In just a minute. Sorry guys, our host just kind of went offline here, so we're definitely gonna have to wait a minute now. I'm posting in the chat where you can get the first video of the series. And then we will post everything within a week after. We'll post everything on this webpage. Oh, I just need to make him I think I just need to make him a host. Hey, Brian, you there? You're back. There he goes.
Is that working? Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good.
Oh, but now I can't hear you.
Oh no.
To trap embers, along with creating defensible space.
Can you hear us right now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I'm not
So-
gonna mess with anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's just not even mess with it anymore at this point. We're just gonna let it be. So everyone, we're gonna start in just a few more minutes here as we get some people online. I just put into the chat where you can access the recordings, previous recordings, and my contact info. And then I'm gonna add Elaine's contact info in here too, with Ventura Regional Fire Safe Council. All right, just another minute. Oh, cool. Getting a few more here. Perfect. All right. All right, we will just move ahead here. We're 5 after. All right, everyone. Well, good evening. My name is Andy Spurk. I'm with the Ventura County Resource Conservation District. I'm hosting this in collaboration with a colleague of mine, Elaine Himmelfarb, with the Ventura Regional Fire Safe Council. Tonight's presentation will be It will be talking about the Ready, Set, Go program hosted by Captain Brian Mcgrath. He's a public information officer at the Ventura County Fire Department. Again, we'll be talking about the Ready, Set, Go program tonight. For those of you who just joined on, this is a bi-monthly wildfire speaker series that's free to the public. So if you know anyone else who lives in the wildland urban interface, this series spans across the next 2 years. You're seeing on the screen right now the next year of topics. Like I said, it's bi-monthly on the first Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. Every single speaker series will be recorded and posted on the RCD, the Resource Conservation District's webpage, which you can find in the chat. I posted it there. We will post all recordings within 1 week of the presentation. Of course, feel free to reach out. You have both mine and Elaine's contact information. Feel free to reach out to us with any additional questions or whatever. Quick plug at the RCD, you'll see my background here. We got a fire prevention demonstration garden here, and we do offer free tours of that. We're based out in Somas. It's a garden that displays defensible space zone 1, 2, and 3 around your home and how you can harden your home and landscape. So if you're interested in those tours, we offer them bi-monthly on Saturdays to the community. Feel free to shoot me an email, or if you know anyone else, we give you a toolkit of information. We give you tips on how to harden your home and landscape and walk around the entire area so you know what plants and how to place everything. With that being said, once again, I'll hand it over to Captain Brian Mcgrath, who's a public information officer at the Ventura County Fire Department. All right, Brian.
Thank you, Andy, for having me. I really appreciate coming in. So we got a pretty decent turnout. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Like Andy said, I work for the Ventura County Fire Department within the public information sector right now. And so we're gonna go over Ready, Set, Go. It's a program that's been around for many, many years. And it is a proven program that works very well. We're gonna start off with a video real quick because that will make the PowerPoint go a little bit faster and a little bit easier. And then we will have some questions at the end.
Feel free, should let you start sharing. Let me know if you have issues.
All right.
All right, looking good so far.
Wildfire. You knew it was coming and now it's here. Smoke has blotted out the sun and it stings your eyes. It's hard to breathe and you can't stop coughing. The air is so hot you feel like you're in an oven. There's a constant whirring noise and all around you embers and ash are falling. Are you prepared? Wildfire is now a year-round threat. As more homes are built in the wildland-urban interface, the threat to lives and property is increasing. This video will give you details of the Ready, Set, Go program. This wildfire action plan will help you get your home and property ready for the next wildfire. It will show how to set up an evacuation kit and plan so you can go at a moment's notice, well ahead of the advancing wildfire. We will also give you some survival tips in case you are trapped by the wildfire. If you live near the wildland, you live in an ember zone. This is important to know because most homes lost during wildfires are the result of ember intrusion, not the active flame front of the wildfire. In fact, your home can be in danger from embers as much as a mile away from the fire. Thermal currents created by the fire, along with strong winds, can send embers far ahead of the flame front. The first step in our action plan is to get ready. This means creating defensible space and adding or retrofitting your home with fire-resistant building construction features. By creating defensible space, you create a buffer zone between your home and the advancing wildfire. Firefighters can use this space to protect your home and battle the fire. Start by clearing brush and other combustibles from around your home and using fire-resistant landscaping. Make sure tree limbs don't hang over your eaves. Consider removing hedges and shrubs next to your house. The plant debris that accumulates under them can fuel an ember fire. Other landscaping in your yard can also be hazardous under wildfire conditions. Wooden fences, bark used as ground cover, ornamental shrubs and trees such as eucalyptus, pine, or palms can trap embers, catch fire, and serve as a news source for embers that can threaten your home. If you live in a more rural setting, make certain you have at least a 100-foot radius of clear brush around your home and be sure you've trimmed any plants that could trap embers. Along with creating defensible space, you must prepare your home in the event of a wildfire. This includes adding or retrofitting your home with fire-resistant building construction features. Your roof is the most vulnerable part of your home because it offers a wide landing zone for embers and many possible areas of combustion. If you still have a wood shake shingle roof, consider replacing it with fire-resistant materials like composition or tile. If you have a tile roof, use bird stops to plug the end tiles to prevent embers from flying and starting a fire under the tiles. Clean leaf litter and debris from gutters and corners of your roof. Vents on homes are particularly vulnerable to flying embers. Cover all vent openings with 1/8-inch metal mesh. Don't use fiberglass or plastic mesh because they can melt and burn. Heat from a wildfire can cause windows to break even before the home ignites. This allows the burning embers to enter and start fires inside your home. Install dual-paned windows to prevent this. Consider tempered glass on the exterior pane as added protection. Wooden decks and patio covers are also vulnerable to falling and blowing embers. Use heavy timber or non-flammable construction materials for your deck or patio cover. Enclose the underside of balconies and decks with fire-resistant materials to prevent embers from blowing underneath, lodging, and starting a fire. Keep your deck clear of combustible items such as baskets, firewood, and other easily ignited materials. Firefighters need to be able to find you under the terrible conditions caused by wildfire. Rural residents, make sure your address is visible on your home, not just on your mailbox by the road. Be sure your driveway is wide enough to allow a large fire engine to get to your home. If you have your own water supply, like a tank or hydrant, make sure it is well marked so firefighters can find it. The next step in our action plan is to get set so you can leave early. Long before the fire, develop a wildfire action plan for you and your family. Designate meeting locations so everyone knows where to go in case of an evacuation. Make sure to plan several escape routes to the designated meeting location. Assemble an emergency supply kit as recommended by the American Red Cross. You should have one of these kits in your home as well as in your car. Have the 6 Ps ready in case you need to evacuate. People and pets. Is your family ready? Do you have an evacuation plan in place? Papers, phone numbers, and important documents. Make sure all your important papers are handy, ready to grab and go. Prescriptions, vitamins, and eyeglasses. If you take medications, make sure you have enough packed to last you the entire time you might be evacuated. Pictures and irreplaceable memorabilia. Many of our possessions can be replaced, but there are some that have such sentimental value you don't want to lose them. Make sure you identify these possessions and have them packed and ready to go in case of an evacuation. Personal computer. We live in a digital age. Make sure to take your computers or hard drives with you in case of an evacuation so you don't lose that valuable information. Plastic, credit cards, ATM cards, and cash. Make sure to have these handy in case you need to make purchases while evacuated. There's smoke in the air, the fire is approaching. This is the time you need to maintain your situational awareness. Stay close to your home, drink plenty of water, and keep an eye on your family and pets. Stay tuned to your local TV or radio stations for the latest updates. Check the fire department website. There are a few things you need to do outside as the fire approaches and before any evacuation is ordered. Gather up flammable items from your yard, such as patio furniture, children's toys, and trash cans. It's a good idea to seal attic and ground vents with pre-cut plywood or some other type of commercial seal. Turn off any propane tanks, connect garden hoses to the taps, and turn on your exterior lights. Make sure to have the 6 Ps packed. Back your car into your garage or driveway so you're set for a quick and early evacuation. Inside your home, shut all the windows and doors, but leave them unlocked. Remove any flammable window coverings. Close the shutters and heavy-duty shades. Move flammable furniture to the center of the room, away from windows and doors. Shut off the air conditioning and attic fans. Leave your lights on so firefighters can see your house in the smoky conditions. The third and final step in your action plan is to go early. The embers and ash are beginning to fall. The air is smoky. This is your signal to go. Firefighters always recommend that you comply with any evacuation order and go early. Staying and ignoring an evacuation order may be a fatal mistake. You may be trapped by the fire and may not be able to get out. Leave early enough to avoid being caught in fire, smoke, or road congestion. In an intense wildfire, there may not be enough time for the authorities to knock on every door. Don't wait for an ordered evacuation. Leave immediately. Leave to your predetermined location, whether it be a well-prepared neighbor or relative's house, a Red Cross shelter or evacuation center. Make sure to have several travel routes predetermined just in case one route is blocked by fire. Choose an escape route that takes you away from the fire. Preparing for a wildfire is as simple as 3 words. Ready, set, go. Get ready. Make sure your home and property are ready for a wildfire by making sure you have defensible space and you've added or retrofitted your home with fire-resistant building construction features. Get set. Make sure you and your family are set for a quick evacuation by having a wildfire action plan in place and your evacuation kits are prepared. Go. Leave early, well ahead of the advancing fire so you can get out safely and the firefighters have the room they need to do their job. As the fire front approaches, heat, smoke, and wind conditions will rise dramatically. No matter how well you've prepared, the conditions will be worse than you've ever imagined. It will be hot and dry. Smoke will be blinding and choking. Burning embers will be landing on you. Other debris may be flying through the air too. If you've waited too long, you may be trapped by the fire. At this point, you have no choice but to protect yourself. Synthetic material can burn or melt, so keep cotton clothing on hand. Wear long sleeves and long pants. If you have gloves and a hat, put them on. Goggles or glasses will help protect your eyes from flying embers and ash. A bandana or dust mask may help you breathe better. If you're able, patrol your property for small fires and put them out. If the fires are any larger than something you can put out with a bucket of water, leave it to the firefighters. Eventually, conditions will become so bad you'll need to get inside your house. Unhook your garden hoses and bring them inside with you. Embers can burn holes in them and make them useless after the fire passes. Fill the bathtub and sinks with water so you have an emergency water supply. Use wet towels to help keep smoke and embers from entering through gaps under the doors. Shut off the air conditioning and attic fans. Patrol the inside of your home for fires and extinguish any when you find them. Gather your family together in a safe location away from outside walls. Make sure everyone knows how to escape if it becomes necessary. Remember, the temperatures outside may be 4 to 5 times hotter than it is inside. Stay hydrated, drink lots of water before the fire comes, and while you're taking shelter in your home. After the fire front passes, carefully check the conditions outside before leaving your home. Be ready for ongoing hot, smoky, and windy conditions. Leave your house through the door away from the wind so smoke and embers don't blow in when you open the door. Carefully patrol your property looking for small, smoldering fires and extinguish them. Once is not enough. The wind may continue to bring embers for hours or even days. When you feel your property is secure, check on your neighbors and their home and property. Under wildfire conditions, a small fire on your neighbor's property can quickly spread to yours. In the end, remember, your safety and the safety of your family should be your #1 priority, and your actions affect more than just yourself. It's a high-risk gamble to stay during a wildfire. Know all the consequences of staying and everyone it affects. Don't wait until it's too late. You don't want to have to resort to the survival tips in this video. The best bet is to get your home wildfire ready now. Be set when the fire comes and go early.
All right, so that was a real quick 12-minute video. It does a really good job of explaining the Ready, Set, Go program. So from here, we're gonna go through one of our Ready, Set, Go packets, which you can find all this information and these actual packets online on vcfd.org. Or you could always contact us and we can get you some hard copies too if you want the printed versions. So the packet talks about the program and when it was started, So when you're in, and where the areas really are affected by wildfire. As you know, we're here in Ventura County. We have a lot of open space, which is going to be where the brush and the vegetation's at, and rural areas where those homes are built right into that brush. We've had a very successful program for helping people get their homes wildfire defendable. And this is one of the programs that we use yearly. We also, by June 1st is the vegetation deadline for when you're supposed to have all your brush cleared around your home. And if you get one of those announcements, then you would have, if you didn't get one, then you're not in the area that's closest to it. How you know if you're going to be in an area, if you're buying a home or moving, it's if you're within a half mile of an open space. And that's how we classify who is going to be under our program, where we can enforce the rules and the laws to force people to clear their vegetation. Outside of that half mile, it starts to become more of it's not under our legal jurisdiction to enforce it. It's going to be the local law enforcement and working with your neighbors and being able to protect your homes. So real quick, looking at what is defensible space, we got zone 1 is going to be within 30 feet of your home. And within that area, we want to remove any kind of flammable material. So you don't want to leave piles of wood. You don't want flammable decks that have areas that are going to be catching debris. You don't want trees that will be able to move the fire from bushes to trees to your rooftop. We want that area to be super clear. And then zone 2 is going to be 30 to 100. So you have less. We're still allowing some fuels, but now instead they're going to be kind of spread apart a little bit. We don't want to have the fuels. And when I talk about fuels, I'm talking about vegetation, dead vegetation that's going to allow fire to move from one side of your land to the other and into your house. And then the other way that it moves is moving from the ground and up. So when we say a ladder fuel, the grasses are the fuels that are on the ground, and the grasses move the fire to the bushes, and the bushes move it to a taller bush and then up into the tree. And now you had what was just a fire on the ground. Now it's all the way up to as high as your tree. So we want to remove kind of ladder fuels so the fire can't grow up in that pattern. And then when you're looking at within the first 30 feet around your home, you want to make sure that you kind of start from your home out. You look at your roof. What kind of roof does it have? It talked about the roof materials. How old is it? Is it going to hold up against the winds? This year we had a pretty significant windstorm. I know here in Simi, a lot of people had to replace their roofs because they were just old. And if you're in those windy conditions again during a fire season, and your material that's on your roof is on it to keep the fire out, if that gets blown off, now you have exposed wood where those embers can fall on land into. So age of the roof, what kind of material is it in? What do your eaves look at? Does it have places for embers to get caught? When you're kind of looking at like your eaves and your corners of your house and your walls, wherever the wind and debris usually collects on a normal day, that's where the ember is going to go. So if you have a pile of leaves that's always in the same corner of your house, the embers will get blown into that area as well. So you want to make sure those areas are clean. So that's just kind of like little tips for where should you start. The video, again, it talked about doors and windows, the balconies and decks, all kind of hardening your home and preparing your home for that type of this type of fire. There's different websites and different things you can look at for your roof and your vents, the different types of windows. When it talked about with your windows, if you have lightweight curtains, you don't want those to be left on because the radiant heat will get through your window and will potentially start that lightweight curtain on fire. So we don't recommend lightweight curtains. You can pull those curtains down. If that's all you have is a lightweight curtain, we would rather have there be nothing there than the lightweight curtain. They do make thicker curtains that are more fire resistant style that can be purchased and used, but they may not meet what you're kind of looking for decor. So there's always the blinds and mini blinds that will stand up to that a little bit more. Again, make sure they're closed when you go to leave your home though. This talks about rain gutters a little bit because that's where debris can catch. When you're looking at your home, where's the debris going to go? Where is it going to have something to be able to have that ember go into? It also talked about on the concrete roof, the tile roof, get the bird stops to go underneath the tiles because again, the embers can get blown underneath that tile and hang out under there. And the more it can stay in an area like that, the longer it has a chance of catching on fire. Within the Welsbie fire, we noticed the embers were blowing up to 2 miles away. So even if you're not right in that defensible space zone that we're required within the half mile, we're still in a threat zone here in Ventura County. So even at my house here, I don't keep my trash cans right next to my house. We witnessed a lot of houses being threatened because of the trash cans got embers in them, and those caught on fire and spread into the house. The combustible plastic fences, a lot of those melted. And again, these homes weren't right next to they were a mile away from the flame front and we were having issues. If your neighbor's house catches on fire right now, if there's a slight breeze, is your house going to be able to withstand the embers that come off of your neighbor's house? So these aren't just tips that you can use during fire season. It's year round. It's just trying to harden our homes. That way we're better prepared for the emergencies that come up. We talk about preparing your family and being prepared in that sense. So if you have little kids or you're caring for your elderly parents or family members, what is your disaster plan look like? Where are you going to go? What are you going to be? What's your plan? I know before I had one, I was like, I'll be all right. But really, once I got it set and my kids knew, it relieved a lot of my tension, especially if I'm going to be gone on a fire. I know what they're going to do. I know where they're going to go. It's not a question. They just know where to go. They know how to get alerted. So the amount of comfort that will bring to your whole family and just being prepared in that sense and having that plan in place. So with that, also, you want to make sure that everybody is on vcalert.org. And that's how we get our alert notifications out. If we're going to be doing evacuations or road closures, that's what we're going to be using it on. That system's really great because you register what phone numbers you want to get the information to. So it's email, text message, and email, text message, and voice message that you can get that information sent to you. And then you register whatever addresses you want to be notified. So under my VC alert, I've got my home address. I have my kid's school. I have my parents' house and all family members' houses there. So if there's an emergency at any one of those addresses throughout Ventura County, I will be notified of something going on. And each one of your family members can have that as well. Again, you can read through some of this and go online to be able to read through this full packet fully. Let's see. And then we talk about remain close to your home. Remaining close to your house is going to be just being prepared. You don't want to go for a 2-mile walk in the middle of a fire. It's like, oh, I'll be all right. No, we want you ready to go. So close to your house. And then when you're inside, that has an inside checklist for shutting your windows, turning off your AC. We say turn off your AC because we don't want your home to suck anything into it. So we don't want anything additional to be able to be sucked in. So we want to make sure your AC is turned off. And so turning on your lights so we can potentially see your house. Making sure that you have good addressing on the outside of your house, and making sure that your car is backed in. These are all like little things that you could do to help yourself drastically. Because if you could imagine being evacuated and everyone on your streets trying to leave at the same time, and everyone's trying to back out of the driveway. Make it easy, back into it so you can just pull straight out and go. And then you don't have to wait for the VC alert notification to call you to go. If you're getting, you're downwind of a lot of smoke, a lot of ash is falling on you. And if you can, and you have a place to go to, go ahead and get out now. Kind of get yourself ready, and you don't have to wait for someone to tell you to leave. Take a little awareness level on yourself, so that way you leave at the appropriate time. Because like it said, sometimes we don't have enough law enforcement to get around to everybody and to knock on everyone's door. If you are following us at VCFD_PIO on our Twitter page, that's where we put our incident information on. So if you're starting to see on there a lot of information, a lot of tweets going out about road closures, about where the fire is going, the size of it, and you're seeing it that it's going to be impacting your house, or it's going to be impacting potentially your escape route, then maybe it's time that you just kind of, hey, let's go out to dinner tonight. Let's pack everybody up. Let's go out to dinner, and we'll see what this thing's going to do. But again, you can follow us on that Twitter page. If you don't have Twitter, you can go to vcfd.org, and on the upper left-hand corner is a place for active calls, and you can click that tab, and you can follow our Twitter right there, even without having Twitter. So you can still see all the tweets we're putting out. You can also watch on Pulse Point for any other active calls. So that's what we were just talking about. Go. It's like, just go early. We want to make sure you get out. If you notice that we are starting to do evacuations, we're very calculated with where we evacuate and who we evacuate and in what order. So if the fire is getting bigger and you can see streets 1, 2, and 3 are evacuated, the reason we haven't done 4, 5, and 6 is because we needed 1, 2, and 3 to get out first. They're going to be impacted the earliest. So we're very calculated with how we try to evacuate. We don't just have huge blocks that we're going to go, okay, this 3/4 of Moore Park is going to be evacuated just because. No, we pinpoint it down to the street level, and it might even be that only half the street is getting evacuated, because those homes on that side of the street are the ones that are being evacuated, are going to be impacted by potential fire. So to find out where that evacuation zone is at, you can go to vcemergency.com, and that's where we activate our maps, our road closures, and we work with OES on setting that up and getting those notifications out. When you actually get the notification from VC Alert, the fire department and Ventura Sheriff's Office are working together to calculate those numbers, and the OES agency, Office of Emergency Services, they are the ones that will actually push the go button for the evacuations. Also with this packet, it has your personal wildfire action plan, phone numbers, because remember, if something happens to your phone, you break it, you drop it in a pool. If you don't know your family member's phone number, you may not be able to push your favorite contact. Happened to me not too long ago. I lost my phone. I didn't know anyone's phone number anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good to have it written down somewhere else. Who's the emergency contacts? And what their phone numbers are. It's really good to have that ability to have that second set of numbers somewhere else. And then you can personalize this a piece of paper like this to anything that you need. Here we talk about what are your evacuation routes going to be, where are animal shelters, and then what's your meeting location, and location of emergency supply kit. Where are you going to keep that supply kit? Is it kept in a closet? Is it kept in a trunk? Is it kept in the garage? The good thing about having it written down here on something like this can be set anywhere in the house. Whereas realistically, we're not going to keep your go bag sitting in your kitchen out year round. It's not practical. So now when it's written there, if you have someone watching your kids or someone's dog sitting, they see that, they know where your stuff's at, and they can just grab it and be able to take care of you and your family and your pets. So let's see what else we got. This is again just more check boxes for how did you take care of everything in your house? What else do you need to do? Any questions? I know I went through that really fast, but like I said, you just had the video, so we just kind of highlighted a few more points of it.
Thank you so much, Brian, for taking the time. Sorry, Carol, just a second. No, appreciate it. Questions, either type into the chat box. We're starting off with Carol here. Type into the chat box or raise your hand virtually on Zoom. I'll give a call on. But yeah, we'll go off with you there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Am I on?
Yep.
Okay. One thing, during the Thomas fire, I evacuated for 7 days. However, I closed everything, but I didn't close my chimney flue. When I came home, my house smelled like a dirty ashtray. Everything was closed except for the flue. And it was only about like this, but the entire house, except for the doors that were shut to the fireplace, smelled horrible. And I ended up with basically $45,000 worth of smoke damage from that fire. And it was only because the flue was open.
I mean, that's a very good point to make sure that gets closed as well.
And it was not noted on anything there.
Well, I also think that with the extreme winds and everything we had, even if your flue was closed, there was still a lot of homes that had significant smoke damage that were not impacted. But definitely closing your flue would definitely help in that happening.
Yeah, that's one thing. This other thing that you have about trees, I have almost an acre, and I live next to a barranca in Oakview. You know, the Ventura laws about oak trees, California oaks, you can't cut them if the oak is a certain size. Well, sometimes I know people cheat, but I have branches of oak over my roof. I once, before the Thomas fire, I had made several calls because I wanted to get some quotes on insurance. AAA looked at a satellite view of my house and they said, "We're not going to insure you. You have oaks over your roof." So, you know, what do you do? Like I have several big branches of oaks over my roof, and it's against the law for me to cut them. What do I do?
Is it against the law to cut? I thought it was against the law to fully remove the oak tree. I thought that was the county ordinance. I could be mistaken.
I think it's a certain branch size. And I think that's really kind of, excuse my French, I think it's really kind of stupid because we live in a fire area and I try and prepare my house for fire all the time. Like I'm already prepared. I have a suitcase packed. I have everything ready to go because I learned before the Thomas fire. And I got a hint before the Thomas fire because I was prepared because we had a little fire off of the 33 the month before. So I had my horse trailer, everything prepared. So I was all ready to go. I had 2 horses, 1 dog, 3 cats, and everything in the horse trailer and me. So,
yeah, there definitely should be an exemption, you know, when it comes to emergency situations and protecting life and structure. But like I said, I thought I know you're talking about DPH, you know, about the size of the tree, what size of the tree matters. And I think it's like a 4-inch diameter breast height. That's what that stands for, DPH, how wide the tree is, the circumference at your chest level. So there is that threshold, but I was under the assumption that you could be trimming oak trees as long as you're not harming the oak tree ultimately. And Brian, feel free to correct me, but what I can do, if you don't know the answer, Brian, I work with the county quite a bit, so I can reach out, Carol, and get a better answer for that for you if we don't.
I would like that, because there's one particular branch. I don't want to kill my trees. I love them. But there's one particular branch that goes over my roof that I'd really like to get rid of. And I'm not going to kill my tree. I want to balance it out, but I don't want it hanging over my roof and causing damage or being a fire hazard. And the tree is right next. I can't cut the tree down. It's right next to my house. So, you know, I'm kind of stuck.
I do know that you can trim them, but you have to have a licensed arborist come out, inspect it, and a licensed tree trimmer do all the work to it. You can't do it yourself. So there's a lot of extra steps with the oak trees, but I know you can trim them, but you're right about cutting it down.
Yeah, but the thing about the size of I've talked to an arborist before, and they've said, well, that limb is a little bit too large for me to cut.
That's
So,
interesting.
yeah, what do I do? And,
that's all that they would say that, because we cut a pine tree here hanging over our roof, and
it's a pine tree. It doesn't matter. You can rip it out.
Yeah, well,
We're
this
talking
is like
about California oaks.
80-foot pine tree, but yeah, interesting. I would say call another arborist. Did you get another arborist to give you a quote?
I'll call several.
I would call another one, because that's all that they wouldn't want to. Maybe for liability, they didn't want to trim it over your roof in case something.
It's not that, they said the California laws.
Yeah,
They specifically said that. They didn't say, these people are like Tarzan. They do all sorts of things. They're amazing about cutting trees.
Well, once you reach out to the other one, Carol, feel free to shoot me an email if you're still getting the same thing. I have contacts at the county, and we work a lot, and I'd be happy to get one of the environmental people to give you more approval of that, so you're more comfortable.
Thank you.
So yeah, reach out if you don't get any luck. Thank you for bringing that up. Any other questions while we're here? Feel free to either raise your hand, unmute. You know, our next discussion in 2 months is going to be really in depth about defensible space and home hardening. It's going to be focusing immediately on your home, like very narrow focus on everything. But you know, some of the stuff I want to highlight here in Brian's conversation tonight is to prepare. I do a lot of wildfire recovery and restoration, and I hear about people defending their homes. You don't want to be in that kind of situation. You don't want to have to be standing there fighting off a fire for your life. It's not worth your home at the end of the day. So please be prepared. Please, as Brian said, leave when you think it's bad. Don't leave when you know it's bad. So many times when you're in an emergency situation, you're not in the right headspace. No matter how calm of a person you are, no matter when, you know, who you are, emergencies get to people, and you don't think rationally all the time, especially if you're not prepared for emergencies. So please have those lists ready. Please have your go bag ready. When I like to say when there's a red flag warning, which is, you know, high wind danger and stuff, start to think about your go bag. You know, fire season's year round now, right? As Brian said, we don't need a go bag year round, but there's certain times of the year, and we do get notice sometimes from our county offices. So please pay special attention to that and sign up to these things, and just leave beforehand. You don't need to sit and defend your home. It's a huge, huge thing. Any other kind of questions as we sit here? And also, go ahead, Brian.
As Andy was just talking about, you know, red flag warning, and you know, we have a lot. Your body is amazing. So when your lips are getting chapped and your skin's starting to get dry, that means that the relative humidity, the moisture in the air, is getting less. So that means it's getting drier out. Usually when it's getting drier, it's getting hotter. Especially during the winds, of course, it's gonna be red flag warning. But if you're outside and you're noticing that you haven't used more chapstick and your skin is way dry, then that's a higher alerted for fire emergency.
Yes. I was responding to someone's chat here. All right, looks like we don't have too many questions here. Pretty straightforward presentation. Really appreciate it, Captain Brian with the Ventura County Fire Department. That will basically conclude the presentation for tonight. Like I said, we do have the next speaker series coming up for, let me share the screen with everyone, set for Tuesday, September 7th at 6 p.m. And we'll be laser focusing on how you can harden your home in your immediate zone 1 landscape around your property. So again, thank you to everyone. And one last time, for anyone that has any questions, feel free to unmute and speak up here. I'm just going to check the chat. And of course, you know, always available here if you have any other questions. We're very connected with Ventura Fire and fire officials. Reach out. We're always happy to answer questions. Out here at our garden, we got a fire demonstration garden, which is free to the public. There's signs all around here that talk about literally what Brian was just talking about tonight. But you actually get to see some of the stuff in your landscape, you know, in person. We also offer free tours. And also feel free to sign up for our bi-monthly wildfire newsletter. That also gives some tips and tricks too. So again, my contact information is in the chat here. Feel free to reach out. I do believe I saw Brian, his information in there also. So with that, we will call it a night. Well, thank you everyone for taking the time. We really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Brian. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, so much for taking the time today. Really appreciate it.
I hope that's what you were looking for.
It is. It is. Anything to get information out to the public is what I'm looking for at the end of the day. You know, an easier way of doing it, and a meaningful way of doing it. So this is just the start of what I hope, you know, for this speaker series to evolve into. But
yeah, that's awesome. I like what you're doing. It seems like hopefully we can get some more participants into it and just keep spreading the word.
yeah, slowly. Hey, go ahead, Carol.
Brian, are you related to our undersheriff and to several other people in Ventura County Posse?
I am not.
Oh, you're not? Okay, because I'm in Ventura County Posse and Long Beach Mounted Police.
Oh,
There are a lot of Mcgraths around.
There are, and as far as I know, I'm not. Unless you owe money, then I can collect for it. But no, it's funny because I've had quite a few conversations with Miss Mcgrath about the same question.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Have a great night.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. I'm going to exit out of here. And thanks for taking the time. Thanks, Carol, for stopping by today.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Bye. Good night.